What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Everybody's Talking About It. This is season 4, episode 2, cultural appropriation. How y'all feel about that? Isn't that touchy? That's like a touchy topic this in 2022, right?
We could get there.
It is. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it just with y'all, too. But we're going to introduce who at the table right now. Shout out to my homie Juice, all the way from the Juice Box Podcast. Give it up for him. How that's my bro. What's up, Khalid?
How you
You
doing?
back for season 4, right?
Season 4.
And you ready to
for
go?
more.
And ready for more. That's what I want. The beautiful Ebony. What's up?
Hey.
Have it. And then last but not least, the Beijing King down there. There you go, Rodney. Say, no, that's my bro. That's
Are we
my bro.
starting already?
Yeah.
We starting already.
Shout out to Kalia for the oop on that one. Something happened behind the scenes, but we're going to show you that one later what happened. But we're going to get into cultural appropriation today. How do y'all feel about that? What y'all think?
Well, I don't have a problem with it.
altogether.
It depends on
That was
where.
a lot of thoughts at one
It
time.
depends on when.
And it depends on how.
Yeah.
I chose this topic specifically because there's a lot of things that I've noticed that's been going on in different cultures against other cultures, within other cultures. I was talking to someone and we were talking about like Caucasians with braids, whether if that's male or female, you know, or that's the same. And I brought up the contradiction to that would be sometimes seeing black women in platinum blonde hair. You know what I mean? Did you grow that from the root? I mean, so if we're going to sit here and get mad.
Let's ask Kalia since we on the topic. I mean, I kind of do got blonde hair too.
I was like, yeah, we can ask
but
you
wait
the
a
same
minute.
thing.
Yeah, that's true. I just got it though like the other day. All right, but you has been like that for a long time, so let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
so how do you feel about that?
You know, I wasn't blessed with these platinum gold locks. But I just feel like it fits my skin tone really well. But in terms of the Caucasians with braids, I'm not going to get mad at anything that they're going to pay hundreds of dollars for that's going to be out in 48 hours because their hair is not thick enough to hold it. So, like, that's one of those things. Like, if anything, let my good Jamaican sisters and Caribbean sisters and brothers that are doing their hair out in the islands for all that money come up off of a pointless job.
Yeah. Well, do you think there's anything wrong with Caucasian women or men wearing cornrows or braids?
I will say that doesn't bother me as bad as the dreads when they try to dread their hair.
Oh,
That is a
man.
problem. So I guess my understanding of appropriation is taking something from a culture and using it either as a costume or the culture that
Or
you
for
took
fashion.
it from. Yeah, or
Or
the
for
culture
fashion.
that you took it from gets chastised for it. Like, I don't like seeing, like, when the white girls was having like the colored hair and it was the most revolutionary thing on the scene, but when black girls have colored hair that's not root colored hair, it's trashy, it's tacky, it's this, it's that.
And what cracks me up about, I'm glad you brought up the lock thing, because people don't realize there's a spiritual meaning in locks. They don't even allow you to call them dreads, because dreads are like, if you call them that, it means that it was supposed to be like dreadful. It's supposed to mean that. So there's a spiritual meaning in locks. So if you're going to take that, you have to know what the heck you're doing when you do that. That's different. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you when it comes to that aspect. It can't be one way or the other. I think it all depends. Like, you know, one thing that's not an appreciation of culture is when you saw, you know, Nancy Pelosi, you know, people wearing those suits.
Remember?
With the kneel and knee that. I mean,
With the little graduation kente clothes over their shoulder.
So there's a time and place for it. That, for instance, is
That
not.
was just patronizing.
There's no time for that.
At all.
Like,
It's almost insulting.
That's what I'm saying. It's real patronizing. I feel like they're doing it. It's like it's real it's like symbolistic, if you will. Is that a word?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, they look at it like they're trying to show appreciation, but maybe some of them don't have colored friends, black friends, you know, stuff like that. So I think when it comes down to that, maybe, you know, ask your friend, hey, how could I support in a way that it's not looked offensive or wrong in any type of way?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, watch this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I feel like it's all about a person's perception because I do have friends that are of different cultures and sometimes they try too hard to make me feel included and then in those instances it's just awkward and it's like, maybe not. But then if they don't try as hard to the next person, it could look very ignorant or it could be offensive. So like, it's a thin line.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's a thin line between appropriation and like double standards.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt to have that conversation before you do that action. whether it's wearing something, posting something.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Something.
More in your realm, because y'all always talk about the housewives. I don't know if y'all remember where they were talking about Kenya wearing the Indian costume.
Remember that? And they
And-
blocked it all out.
And it
You
was
can't
this
even see it
whole
on the
thing.
episode no more.
How do y'all? So do y'all think that when people do that, is that a mockery, or is it just like I like it, and it's, or do you think that it's an insult? Like, do you think that people really intentionally are saying, or they just don't?
Well,
put
what
enough
if
thought
someone
into
had?
it?
I think at first I thought it was reaching, like they doing too much. But then on the other side, I was just like, put myself in their shoes. Like, now what if, you know, Housewives of New Jersey, white woman decided at Halloween she was going to come as a black woman? What if she was going to decide to braid her hair?
Or come in and decide to dress as
Blackface.
Aunt Jemima
That's
with
the
a,
thing.
with a fucking box of pancakes.
We would've
What if
ate-
she did
we
that?
would've
What
ate
if
her
she
up.
came through?
So we have to start as a black culture. We have to start kind of like thinking that way. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I understand that it was sold in the store, and to us, we're paying homage to it.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah.
if they can't do it to us, then we should be able to do it.
And everything
I
should be
agree.
reciprocal. So it's funny that you brought the Halloween thing, like, and it's like when a white person comes in blackface. Like, I get if you're trying to dress who you trying to dress like, but if you dress right and do the costume right, I can tell
I
who
can
you
tell
are
who you
without
are right away.
putting on
Skin color,
without
yeah.
the
That's what
blackface
excuse
part.
me.
Especially because what blackface is rooted in, it's just like, y'all make me sad.
But I'm also selfish about it. I'm gonna be real honest. I'm being honest with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm selfish about a lot of things. Like, I feel like, you know how they say, like, white people can be racist, but black people can't? Because there's no such thing as a black person being racist. I believe in that. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't like when white people do dreads and braids and stuff like that. If you and I want to wear our blonde hair, we can. But I feel like, why should they? You literally did not, do not, and will not like this race. So what would make you ever want to ever look like it? I get it. Some people, every white person is not racist.
Yeah.
But it's just like, we've been beaten down for so long. Why would you even want to try?
Yeah.
Everybody want to be black. So
And
it's
if you
time to
can't
be
partake
black.
in our struggle, don't try to look like us. I know we look good. You know what I mean? So I just kind of feel that way.
And even with the blonde hair, it's South African people who have blonde hair.
And blue eyes.
And you know what always cracks me up, even in South, we can even go here. I mean, but you go ahead, Juice. I didn't want to skip you,
Yeah,
real
I
quick.
mean,
Go ahead.
you made a great point because you said it's all about perception and whatnot. And I agree with that, but then going to Rodney's point, it's like you kind of have to look at it like for those races who don't appreciate blacks but want to wear or benefit to what they have or what we've created. It's just a little far-fetched to me, and it's not right. It's
I
not
agree.
right.
I was just about to say that because even in the entertainment industry, when it comes down to music, it kind of baffles me how. I don't know, I'm about to say something. I don't want to say it the way that it might come out. But how white people. So y'all remember the era of like the Christina Aguilera when she came out, and then like JoJo and these Joss Stone girls. And it was like, I always thought about it. In particular, I always think about that song Lady Marmalade, which was by Patti LaBelle, this African-American group. I never understood what was the point of getting white girls who sang like black women to be on a song like that, without just calling the R&B girls that were out at the time to make this a big record. Did y'all fear that if white women wasn't involved, that it wouldn't do well, it wouldn't be successful? But we already saw that successful black females had made music together, and they had made, some time. I just never thought that why is it that when white people sell something, even when Elvis, we can even go back as far as that, and where all the music from like Mama Morton and Chuck Berry and all these people that he stole from to make this music, why is it that when he gave it, it's like, oh, it's revolutionary, like, oh, Molly,
People
like,
do it too, though. But that's another thing of mine. Like, I say on one hand I'm selfish, but then on the other hand I'm just like, we all wrong all across the board, because then I can run. So why throw Brandy and Cinderella? That wasn't a black one.
That's true.
Why do The Wiz?
Sure.
That wasn't originally
That's
a black
true.
movie. So it's like we kind of keep taking from each other, hoping that one of us do it better.
that's true.
And you can
But you can, hold on, Juice, or you could just say it's a take of it. Because what happened is, if you want to go there, we can be honest and say these are the roles that we weren't allowed to get at those times. Like, nobody was calling us to do the Wizard of Oz. Like, what would be the point? Like, nobody ever said, this is fantastic, it's fantasy movies. Cinderella was a fucking book They never described her as this pale-skinned woman. When we saw her on screen, they made her white. You know what I mean? That's what it was. That wasn't hers. Wasn't the story of the oldest time. Pocahontas. That's a real story. Now that's a real thing that they made into that. And they romanticized the fuck out of that to make it seem like she was this desperate woman that fell in love with this white guy that she couldn't do for her fucking self, and she was just around the fucking riverbed. You know what I mean? Like she knew that shit. That was her area. That was her zone. That was her life. How you gonna make it seem like this white man had to take her through the jungle? Like no, she knew it. You know.
They always.
You know she could paint with all the colors of the window.
They always
like
the
you know.
I think my issue, like especially in the entertainment side of things, is like I said. It's all good when it can make you a little coin, it makes you cool, it makes you, cause like to be honest with you, like black culture is kind of the culture.
Yeah,
like we kind of drive everything, and like I said, like I was saying before, it's ghetto until it's not. It's distasteful till it's not, and it depends on like. So you bring up Elvis, you bring up the Christina. It makes stuff more palatable to, I guess, the mainstream or the money spending audience. But also in the same sense, then you learn about us and you like us. But then it's like I said, it's just the cherry picking for me. Like everybody want to be black till it's time to be.
But hold on, there was a flip side to that too. Because remember when Whitney Houston first came out, we weren't really there part of that wave. But you know, she got booed out at the Soul Train Awards because they said that she was trying to sing white. So that was a thing where that's a flip side from our people.
I never heard of that.
Like that.
I never knew that story.
Because this is what throws people off about her story, because people assume that, oh God, you picked Bobby Brown. Like at that time, really for real, it was like Bobby Brown kind of picked you because he was bigger than her at that point in time.
Yeah.
Like at that
But
point
Bobby
in time.
Brown, and New
time.
Edition, they already had that stigma that they were guys from the hood and they were reckless. And then when Whitney Houston was coming, you know, her rollout was America's Sweetheart. So
but that
even when you see
her black people didn't. That's where I was going with.
That's
because
what I'm saying.
if we embraced her as she was, then we would have never assumed her as this America's sweetheart, this America's princess, because white people gravitated to her first. If we would have just took her in, she would have just been our sis from day one. That would have been auntie, that would have been mom. So it wouldn't have been nothing for you to hook up with Bobby. That would have just been that. But because, oh no, you sing white, or because you do this, and then you see her in the bodyguard and having this, one-on-one love scene with white man, it's like, okay, now you that. So you really like Grand Vidal while he's doing movies like You Can Play That Game, sliding down the chick in the gas station and shit. So it's like now you kind of.
Bobby's a nasty nigga.
Don't talk about my pops. That's dad. That's dad. I keep telling my mom, I said, when you meet Bobby Brown, because I know that's my spirit in him. That's my spirit in him. That is. He really is.
That's a little spirit to have inside of you. But I'm
back to it. Back to it. Hold on. Here we go. Because now, just because we're about to wrap this up soon. I know y'all understood that you brought up my girl, Jack Harlow. What I love is that's what the answer to appropriation is, though. That's what I liked what he did.
Yeah.
That's what I like what he did. If you are going to use our music, he sampled Lil Wayne, bring her out. You know what I mean? Bring him out. And that's what he did. He gave him his moment at the BET Awards. Same thing. He said, let's fix it. I don't think he ever said that he didn't know who Brandy was. He didn't know that we get it. He didn't know that they were siblings. Blah, 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 blah. But he fixed it. He brought her out on the stage. He honored her as who she was, and I think that that's a good answer to appropriation.
I feel like that was a generational thing, but that's another conversation.
You think it was? Yeah, I think it's a generational
He's like 24, ain't he?
But in Devil's Advocate, if you are a musician, why would you just listen to the people that you came out with? Like, why wouldn't you know your history if you claim to be like a rapper? You're right. You don't have
It's
to.
not a requirement.
It's don't have to. It'll be different for us.
I wasn't mad at that.
No, I wasn't mad at it. You don't know.
I think he meant it in
being an entertainer doesn't automatically make you a guru. That's just like when you get hired as a manager or a supervisor, don't automatically make you a content expert.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Of what you were hired for. It doesn't work that way.
You learn on the job.
So if I get picked up today or tomorrow because I'm a one-hit wonder, do I all of a sudden know who everybody on the West Side who sang a song? I don't. And I'm not going to. And I'm not getting ready to study all of that just so that I can get up here and sing. It don't happen.
Words that mean things.
I feel like that's just where we are with the music industry. I feel like that's how a lot of people are when it comes to appropriation. We don't see that kind of credit all the time. So what do you think, dude?
So in terms of cultural appreciation, I think, especially talking about music, I think we need to bring up the Lil Nas X and how he brought up with Old Town Road and how he was looked at differently for doing a country song. even though it may have sounded urban to some.
I hate that song. I literally hate
I
that
like
song.
it.
I like it.
It was
I like
catchy.
it.
It was good.
It
at the
did
time.
what it was supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I realize its place in society for doing what it's supposed to do.
You know what I hate about it? I thought about that. When you and this has nothing to do with the cultural appropriation part of it, but just when you think about it being the longest running #1 song in history is a song about a motherfucking horse. I can't believe it. I just cannot believe 19 weeks at #1. That song is the song
You think it
that
because
we'll
it was
remember.
country?
I don't know. I just don't know what made that song it.
First of all,
Kids loved it.
Kids.
I was about to say, so
First of all,
kids
my
do
daughter
different
freaking went
groups.
crazy off the song.
First of all, and if you listen to country, what do you motherfuckers talk about?
They never talk about much.
Yeah, but at least be
Cold
like
beers,
some in-depth shit.
pickup trucks.
Carry
Yeah,
on.
But also,
you gotta
it's-
remember, we're still a minority.
We are,
So
and I was,
when
you know
it
what it
comes to
is.
people picking
I
up
will
stuff
say
and
this
liking it,
to give him credit. I do like that he had tried different things other than just the typical.
Absolutely.
I hate the fact that there is that kind of auto-tune-ish thing going on, but that's something that's popular amongst the kids today.
Yeah, but in terms of cultural appreciation, that should have been
He sounds like
appreciated
Aretha.
for what it
But-
was.
And the wild part is him trying that. He really didn't get the look he got until Billy Ray Cyrus, a big country music artist,
Boom.
put the cosign behind him.
You see what I'm saying?
So I would say, in terms of what he did with that, like I said, he did what he was supposed to do. He appealed to the mainstream because country, country is a big
But you
lane.
see
They're
how he
famous for.
appreciated and he didn't appropriate.
Yeah.
What he did was putting Billy Ray on the song. Really said, let me go ahead and collaborate with someone
It was
that's
smart.
in that
It
thing.
was smart.
With the problem with most of the white artists they don't do that. They just
White artists, white designers,
white designers. They won't even use black
co-workers at
people
the
as
office.
models. But we are the
Yeah.
consumer, and that cracks me up. So if you see all these black people that sit out here, oh, I want Versace, I want Gucci, give me Balenciaga, give me Margiela, give me all this, and then none of these people really are making this shit for you at all.
Tommy
But they-
Hilfiger told y'all that back in like '97.
But Aaliyah was the spokeswoman for that shit back in the day.
Bing bing. He realized the hit. That's why.
Yeah.
He realized the hit.
You-
He
that's what most
changed
people-
his tune.
That's what most
He
people
changed
do.
his
You all,
tune.
did you notice like Adidas, Beyonce, Reebok, Cardi B? Like this is what all these people. That's where they're going to go because this is where who has the influence. Now the big designers they'll go for the Kardashians. You know what I mean? Like, and they are the queens of appropriation.
Well, Rick Ross had that Reebok.
They are
thing,
so
right?
Yeah.
He kind of fucked that up. So.
But we already discussed Kardashian, so you know how it feels. But we're gonna see y'all next week, episode 3. I appreciate y'all coming out. I appreciate you stopping through.
Juice is here.
I know, that's the big point. Give it up, man. Juice, man, you gotta come through again, man.
Yeah, we'll-
Appreciate you,
we'll-
man. Episode 3, we will see you where we're gonna talk about what happens on vacation, staying on vacation. We'll see you there. Boom.